like to welcome all of you to this momentous and very important in the history of the Polish Museum lecture. And the Polish Museum of America is truly happy to cooperate with Polish Studies of Loyola University in Chicago, with Professor Bożena Nowicka-McLeese, with the Ministry of Culture and National Heritage of the Republic of Poland, and with the Consulate General of the Republic of Poland in Chicago. The truth about the collection, it's always connected with many stories that they create a pattern of relationship, a tapestry of connections between the art world and people, real people. And we do appreciate lessons like this and lectures like this because they are part of our education. For our education as the members of the Polish Museum and as well as the workers of the Polish Museum, we love to learn stories. And today I would like to ask Madame Agata Grochowska, the Consul of the Republic of Poland, to open our meeting. Pani Consul.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to be here together with you. And I would like to congratulate the Museum, Polish Museum of America for organizing such interesting and important lecture. I wish all of you to have a pleasant time today. Szanowni Państwo, bardzo serdecznie dziękuję za możliwość przybycia tutaj do Muzeum Polskiego w Ameryce i gratuluję jednocześnie Muzeum za organizację i oczywiście pani profesor McLeese Loyola University za organizację tak interesującego i niezwykle ważnego wykładu. Życzę Państwu wspaniałych doznań i miłego popołudnia tutaj właśnie w muzeum. Dziękuję.
Thank you, Madam Consul. Pani Professor Bożena Nowicka-McLeese, Professor of Loyola University, will tell us about the idea behind this lecture.
Dzień dobry, witam Państwa. Hello everyone. I'm very pleased that you came in this four-season day that we have in Chicago. It's been raining, it's been snowing, it's been doing all kinds of things, but you're here and we're very pleased to have you here because we do have a very interesting story to share. The idea came many years ago actually when I met Professor Peter Obst and then attaché of the cultural affairs in Washington, who were desperately trying to get artifacts from another Jesuit university in Syracuse, New York, Lemoyne College. And there were some difficulties. So because we have a wonderful, thriving Polish studies program at Loyola, which was created with the great support of then president of Loyola, Father Garanzini, I was asked to request from him an intervention with another Jesuit university. He was very kind. He was exceptional in the sense that he not only knew all the names of the faculty members at Loyola, and there's 900 of us, but he also would follow up on any request that we had. So 2 weeks later, he came back and said, I tried, but there's not much I can do. I did whatever I can, but continue talking to them. And I guess Peter did continue to talk to them. And after 5 years of his efforts, which he will present, the collection that was in Syracuse returned to Poland last year, to a great delight of the Polish Ministry of Culture, Polish lovers of art, art historians, and the general public. I was so pleased when Małgosia went to Poland and actually saw the exhibit that was in Poland. Yes, and together with the president of the museum, Ryszard Owsiany, which was beautifully exhibited in Warsaw. And the pictures were really astonishing and beautiful, beautiful pictures. So we will hear more about that, and that's how the idea came about. Because again, I had a pleasure of meeting Peter Obst through a generosity of a very prominent Polish American professor at the university in Florida himself, now retired, who after his father was passed away, and his father, Ed Pienkowski, established a foundation called Poles in America, which collected everything that was out there about Polonia. And his son, Jack Pienkowski, who is present here, generously donated the archives and his entire collection, comprising not only of documents and books, but of artwork, to Loyola University because of our thriving Polish Studies program. So on that occasion, I found out that Peter is collaborating with the foundation, Poles in America, and is a researcher for that foundation. So our roads crossed again, and the idea of this lecture came about. And I'm grateful to the museum of hosting it with open arms and having us here. Thank you very much.
That's our pleasure. We have a cooperation with Loyola University. We have marvelous interns that they are coming to us and they are donating, or they are working for 100 hours. So it's so many hours thanks to you, down here with the research. I would like to introduce to you President of the Polish Museum of America, Ryszard Owsiany, who will share our perspective of the Polish Museum. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Polish Museum of America. It is a thrill for us to be able to host and be a co-sponsor of this lecture this afternoon. The reason we do it, well, there's many reasons why we do these things, but the main reason we're doing this lecture is that, if you're not aware, the Polish Museum of America houses about 60% of the World's Fair artifacts and art and many other things that were in New York in 1939, where the tapestries of the Brotherhood of St. Luke were a part of. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, that part of the World's Fair collection didn't end up here, which we were, for what reason we don't know, but we were happy that we were able to through the efforts of Mieczysław Hyman, to be able to have over 60% of the holdings of the Polish pavilion at the World's Fair. So that's the tie-in with the tapestries. As Bożena mentioned, Małgorzata and I were in Poland last year at the opening of and the presenting of the tapestries to the Polish Museum, National Museum in Warsaw last year, and they are magnificent. To stand a few feet away from it and look at the intricacies of these, and look at all the tapestries that were presented, it was magnificent. That's just even understatement of seeing those things in person, And so we are very happy that we're able to co-sponsor this with Loyola, with Polish Studies, the Polish Consulate, and we hope that our speakers tonight will enlighten you with much more information about the whole process, as well as the tapestries. Again, thank you, and we hope you have an enjoyable afternoon here.
Stories about people. I have to mention one very important person for all of us, Jacek Miller, late Jacek Miller. He was our friend for the Ministry of the Culture. He was coming here often. He brought us ministers, and he was always a supporter of the museums abroad. Thanks to him, we are on the list of museum archives and libraries abroad, and we are getting grants from the Ministry of Culture itself. But not this only. He understood our needs, and he passed away about 5 years ago. So we do remember his wonderful help, and I think he's looking for us in heaven. So because of that, we were able to meet with Director Rogowska in Poland in ministry. And then, because of her efforts and wonderful talent, she was nominated to be the Monument Woman of the ministry. And she is in charge of Department of Restitution of Cultural Property from the Ministry of Culture. They came from Poland for this lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, Elżbieta Rogowska.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me. Today's meeting is, of course, devoted to the extraordinary history of the paintings of the Brotherhood of St. Luke. However, before I give the floor to our excellent speakers, Mr. Alves and Mr. Śliwiński, I would like to take the opportunity to very briefly, I promise it takes 10 minutes, tell you about the day-to-day activities of the department, which I have a pleasure and honor to lead, Department for Restitution of Cultural Goods. I hope that by telling you today about our work, I will encourage you to cooperate and convince you that each of you can participate in finding and recovering works of art lost as a result of World War II. At the beginning, let me explain what for us Polish wartime losses are. According to our definition, Polish wartime losses are movable cultural property lost from public, private, and church collections from the territory of Poland after 1945. That's mean within the post-war borders. As we know, hundreds of thousands of Polish works of art, volumes and archives were plundered or destroyed. Here can we see German soldiers in the National Museum in Warsaw. The exact numbers of those losses cannot be determined to these days. Post-war estimates mentioned over 5,1600 of lost items. Almost 80 years after the war, we are still doing our best to find and recover at least some of them. The main tasks of our department are gathering information on cultural property lost as a result of the Second World War and stolen or illegally exported abroad in contemporary times. That's why we run the only national database of wartime losses and the National Register of Monuments Stolen or Illegally Exported Abroad. It's simple. When we know what we have lost, we can start looking for it. And if we finally find them, we will do everything we can to get them back. We run two very important databases. The database of wartime losses contains information on cultural property lost as a result of World War II from the territory of Poland after 1945, as I said. It is a repository of knowledge, but it's not an official register prescribed by law. It is divided into 23 sections, including paintings, sculptures, graphics, furniture, textiles, porcelain, glass, military and numismatic, archaeological collections, and so on. Currently, the database contains over 66,000 records, and each year it increased by several thousands. We can compare it to the National Register of Monuments Stolen or Illegally Exported, which contains approximately only 10,000 records. The mentioned register is the only database in Poland which contains information on works art lost from museums, church and private collections as a result of modern-day theft. As I said, at present register contains approximately 10,000 records of stolen objects. The losses of objects of cultural heritage are reported to the Division for Looted Art of the Ministry of Culture and National Heritage by police, border guards, voivodeship, conservators of historical monuments, the National Tax Administration, museums and library directors. These databases are basis of our work. We can use the information collected in them for searching. The search for artworks is mainly carried out through daily monitoring of the international art market. At present, the trade in artworks is mainly conducted on the internet, as we know. Every day, we check the objects for sale in some 4,500 auction houses in 72 countries, which annually put up for sale more than 900,000 works of art. This task is performed by verifying auction sites like ArtPrice, Mutual Art, ArtInfo, and so on. We are often able to find objects that have been sold or stored under other names or attributions. Compare the data we'll have with upcoming online auctions regardless of how or in what language they were described. And what happened when we find something? We start our main task, it means the restitution. What's important is the restitution of works of art is carried out by Minister of Culture and National Heritage for the benefit of the state treasury, usually on the basis of public international law and external national law. There is no one way to win. The method of operation depends on the places where the objects was found and its currently legal situation. Extremely important is the attitude of the person or institution that possess the object. Almost every restitution proceeding consists of the stages you can see on the slide. First step is always confirmation of the identity of the objects. We have to be sure that the works of art we found is the same one we are looking for. Help us in this our experts, usually conservators of works of art, and their equipment. I mean ultraviolet and infrared light. Next step is preparation of restitution claim. That means that we collect all information about this particular item, its history, and provenance. Usually, we prepare also legal analysis regarding the possibilities of recovering the object. And finally, thus prepared, we start the negotiations. We would like the recovering the wartime losses to always take place through this way, negotiations. However, this is not always like that. That is why sometimes our partner are the police, prosecutor's office, border guard, National Tax Administration, and on American side, Homeland Security Investigation and FBI, and lawyers, of course. The restitution activities of the Ministry of Culture have led to the recovery over 600 individual objects in recent year. We are very proud of that. On the slide, you can see a beautiful diptych of deer boats, Mater Dolorosa and Ecce Homo, which was recovered last month from Spain. On the left right side, we have a painting by Lukas Kranach entitled The Descent from the Cross, which was found in 2019 at the National Museum in Stockholm, currently finally on permanent exhibition at the National Museum in Wrocław. And last but not least, a portrait of a lady by Geldorp, which returned to Poland from beautiful California. And these examples show how strange the ways of lost works of art are. That's bring us to the end of my speech today. Thank you for your patience. And the last slide I would like to let you read in silence, and I hope it will be an inspiration for you.